Hello, you're very welcome to the Irish Independence League of Ireland Review. Sean O'Connor here. I'm at Dalymount Park. It was a celebratory mood. Bohs beating Sligo Rovers. Dan McDonnell at Sullivan Lamb Park. Drogheda had a good win over Waterford. And Aidan Fitzmaurice, you were at Richmond Park for the big Dublin derby of the night. So I suppose that's the best play to start, even though there was no goals.
No goals. I mean, a full house here, 5,200. Everything else, apart from the goals. I mean, the fact that Lewis Temple, defender from Shelbourne, got man of the match says it all in terms of it wasn't really dominated by attacking players. And even at the end of the game, a little bit of banter there. Brian Kerr in the director's box and Damien Duff kind of, calling up to him and wasn't giving out, just making moves. One of those games, not an awful lot happened. A blow for pass earlier on when Simon Power had to pull out of the team. He had the warm up. Mipo Odebeko came in, probably had the biggest impact. He probably had the best chance. He was a one-on-one with Joseph Anang. Keane Levy, I suppose the big plus for St. Pat's is they did probably drop points, but they got Keane Levy back. He was huge with them last season. This is his first game tonight, so probably Shelbourne will probably see it as a point gain. Pats may see it as 2 points drop, but I think both of them will face bigger tests next week. Shells have Bohs at home and Pats have to go to Cork.
Pats remain second after tonight's Shells, a point behind. Going over to Louth, Dan, it was a good win for Drogheda over Waterford tonight. They're back top.
Yeah, back top of the league, Sean. Quite routine, really. I think this is the thing. I'm making the point in the match report. I think everyone else, and we all fall into it, we describe Drogheda as surprise packages. And look, on budget, they should be down the other end of the table. And you should never forget that, what Cavan Doherty is doing. But equally, it feels like, this is the standards they're setting for themselves, it's just win games like these. Wasn't all plain sailing, and Waterford did miss a couple of big chances in the first half. But equally, Drogheda just looked a very confident side. I think Waterford had 9 corners, yet never really, aside from one chance before half time, and in the second half, huffed and puffed a bit, but never really looked like scoring. Warren Davis, 3 goals in 4 games. He was the man of the match here. This is a team that just keep picking up the points. There's 1 game to go in the first series of games, and 15 points on the board now. Yeah, I mean, they can maybe reframe some of those pre-season expectations.
That's a great win for Kevin Doherty's men this evening. Home win there in Drogheda. It was also a home win here at Bohs, the long-awaited Dalymount win, and it was an incredible start with 2 goals in the opening 4 minutes. Ross Tierney and Colin Whelan sending the Bohs fans here into absolute dreamland. It was kind of right, and you could really feel the pressure they were under, the pressure Alan Reynolds was under coming into this game, writing in his pre-match notes how they just needed a win by any means possible, and it was all going absolutely brilliantly for Bohs, but Sligo hit back with 2 goals in 5 minutes, and you could see over the next half an hour, 40 minutes, the frustration grew. There was chance in both halves. We weren't running out, but it's amazing what a goal can do, and Ross Tierney really taking the game by the scruff of the neck, smacking the ball past Conor Walsh, and sending the Bohs fans here into dreamland. Dawson Devoy with an absolutely superb lob from 40 yards to add the cherry on top. That's just Bohs' second win at Dalymount since July, and lads, they really needed it.
I think Alan Reynolds did. I mean, I think if they hadn't won tonight, even a point, I think wouldn't have been enough. I think the pressure would have been too intense. So Alan Reynolds did need that, especially the run of games they have coming Shells away next week. So it does ease the pressure. Still waiting for Lease to score his first goal, but I suppose
it's a big chance.
Colin Whelan's first goal at home. Yeah, but Colin Whelan's first goal at home. Dustin scoring. Can they get a lot of false dawns with Bohemians over the last year or so? So can they build on that? That's going to be we'll see next week when they play Shelbourne.
No, massive for Bohemians' confidence. Dan, just going to you, I know you kept an eye on Galway against Shamrock Rovers tonight. Galway have had a poor record against Shamrock Rovers at DC Park, and that's continuing this evening. Rory Gaffney with the winner there.
It's not just DC Park. I actually got sent this stat after the preview. There's 34 games without a win against Rovers going back to 2006 in Division 1. And Rovers have now won the last 14 games in a row at DC Park. It's extraordinary. I kept an eye on this game. I don't think the pitch was great. I don't think the game was great, to be honest. I think Rovers, they scored from a corner, hitting Galway in the way that they normally hit other teams. Rory Gaffney with the goal, and the bits I could see at the second half looked like they were keeping Galway at arm's length pretty intelligently. So I think for Rovers, that's a great trip home for them. Yeah.
And Aidan, just finishing off, Derry City, well, like Bohs, under kind of poor mixed start to the season, under a bit of pressure coming into this. That's a good home win against Cork City 2-1 tonight, and on the occasion opening their new stand as well.
Yeah, I think they needed that. I think Tiernan Lynch needed that. He probably is like that, the intensity in Derry, where you're only 1 week away from a crisis going behind. It was a big night for them, opening the new stand. So again, it proves. I mean, they're hugely reliant on Mickey Duffy. I think if you took Mickey Duffy's goals out of the Derry, I know it's a silly point to make. It's a team game, but Mickey Duffy saved them so many times this season. So I think again, Tiernan Lynch will be a bit like Alan Reynolds, just take the win, take the points, and just try and improve.
Can I just say as well, Sean, Rory Keating got a very bad injury at the end of that game. Looks like he's done something bad. He was stretchered off. So I think from a Cork City point of view, with Seanie Maguire out, long-term injury, or has been out for a while anyway, to lose Keating for a long period of time would make that a terrible trip for them and put them in a real worrying spot for the next couple of weeks, if it's as bad as it looked.
I'm sure we'll be hearing from Team Clancy on that in the post-match. Lads, for now, that's great. Thanks for joining me. Dan McDonnell in Drogheda, Aidan Fitzmaurice at Richmond Park, and here me signing off from Dalymount Park. You can follow all the latest League of Ireland reaction this evening and across the weekend with the Irish Independent. Thanks for watching.